Hello there guys, and welcome back to another Python tutorial. So in this Python tutorial I'm going to be going over something that was requested of me on my flashing text video, and that is making flashing points. So much like how you would have traffic lights changing colours depending on what light is currently active, green, orange or red. And I'm going to be using that as the example for this. Obviously you can interpret this in the way that you want and change it accordingly depending on what your needs are, but that's what this video will be covering. So let's get right into it. I have this code here which is my preset Python pygame code to spawn the window and the colors and the fonts and all that sort of stuff. This will be in the description because it's the one that I use for every video, and I'm pretty sure I have a video that covers it as well if you do want to know more information about it. But let's get straight into the code. So obviously we have our game loop here, or our screen loop here. We have our true to running, so we can obviously then cancel it out and turn it to false if we need to stop the game running, say that you've hit a quit button or whatnot. Not that that is necessary for this code. But let's go ahead and write the first line. So we got count is equal to 1, and that's going to be our variable for what color it currently is. So we're going to have 3 colors. Obviously you can have as many as you want, or you can do it as with a modulo, the way that I did it in the flash and text video, but this way works best for this example. Now while it's running we can go if count is equal to 1, then we're going to have our bottom circle as green. So bottom equals green. Now we can obviously print this if we wanted to test it in the console first before moving it to Pygame, but this should work theoretically. So we've got a green bottom one. Then we want to go elif count is equal to 2, and this is going to mean middle is now equal to orange, if I can spell orange correctly. And then we have our elif count is equal to 3, and that's going to be top is equal to red. Now in the case of a traffic light, you're going to have some off lights. So for example, when the bottom light is green, the middle and top lights will be grey. So to do this we want to go ahead and go middle equals grey and top equals grey. And for this one we can go bottom equals grey and top equals grey. Now I'm keeping these in order so that they're the same in each variable, which will make it easier to change later on. We also have, so in the case that top is red, we have middle equal to grey and bottom equal to grey. So we've got this here. This is our if statement that will check whether what the current status is. Now when the light is red, we want it to reset to green, because in the way a traffic light works you get, or at least in my country, you get your green, then it goes to orange, and then it goes to red, and then it goes straight back to green when the light changes. So we want count equals 0 here. Now the reason we want count 0 is because underneath this we're going to have a count iterator. So we're going to increase count by 1 after it's set to 0, which means that if we didn't do that it would go back up and instantly skip the green color. So we can go count plus equals 1. And so that is our color selection code here. That'll select what color should currently be shown, and then we want to go ahead and draw a circle. So I want to go pygame.draw.circle, and we want to give it the surface. So now in my code I've defined screen as the output. So to put it in, we want to go screen. We then want to give it the color that we're currently looking at, and so we're going to keep this in order as well, and we're going to go top, so that will, whatever this color here is throughout. I realized I have done it incorrectly as well. I've gone bottom, middle, top. It should be top, middle, bottom. But that doesn't exactly matter. You can fix that up in your code. It's not going to affect the functionality. So we want it to assign the top color, and then we want to give it a tuple. So for this tuple, I've already predefined these and I know what they are. 75 and 100. And then we want to give it 50 for radius, and we're going to give it 10 for border width. We're going to play around with that a bit later. So we're going to go and do this again 3 times. And so what we're going to do here is change this by 100 each time. Ooh. And so what that's going to do is it's going to drop it down each time and have them slightly below each other on the 75th width. What we want to go ahead and do after this is we want to go ahead and go pygame.flip. What that's going to do is it's going to update the screen for everything that we've drawn on it. It won't draw it if we don't put a flip in there. And then we're going to go clock.tick, and we're going to put FPS in there. So that's what we've set here, frames per second. The higher you set the number, the faster this will run. And so if you set it to say 100, it'll just be a flashing color. So FPS, and we can go ahead and run this now. Oh, we have an error. No module named flip. Oh, that's because we forgot the display. Pygame.display.flip. So we can see here when it starts running. Oh, we forgot one thing. It's my bad. We forgot to change this to middle and bottom. Cool. Run this again. Hopefully I can drag this down. Nope, it's not going to let me. I'll drag this up. So you can see now we have our colors changing, and it's gone non responsive for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why. You can see we have our colors changing there, and it's just looping through them all, which is good. So as you will have noticed, we had the rings. Now that's because we've set 10 for the border. If we remove this border on all of them, we will have solid circles that are coloured. And you can see here that we have our solid colours iterating through. Oh, it's died. Hopefully it doesn't die this time, but you can see here that our colours are iterating through in each different sequence. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. That's pretty much it for this tutorial. Also, if you have any other questions about other things you would like to know, possibly something I could expand on this with, or something completely different, then feel free to ask in the comments. I usually try and keep on top of them. Sometimes I miss comments, but yeah. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Alright, hello there guys. You've obviously made it to the end of the video, so you've obviously enjoyed it or had to watch the whole thing at least. So if you could consider subscribing, that would be a great help to my channel. If you have any suggestions for future videos, make sure to drop them in the comments below. Like the video to show your support to me, so that I can know whether you like the content that I'm making. And yeah.